I want to do something really, really quick. Really quick. I thought would help out my season, and I love Jerron Brown, but I want to get somebody else. And I was thinking about who I want to get, and there's no more trades. Fuck. Shit. All right. Well, I thought I removed the trade deadline. I love all the wide receivers here. I really want to get Deshaun Jackson, but unfortunately, look, a former Eagle, Dorial Greenback. Nah, I like all the players we have. I mean, pretty much all the guys we have are good, I guess. I don't really want to... Okay, yeah, no, I'm not going to do that. All right, so we got Palmer again. We got Gresham as a fullback. I don't know why. Okay, so I know how to make Darren Sproles into a better fullback. And I know how. He's 54 as a fullback, and this is my last live stream of the night. I'm kind of going a little crazy. I'm like, so I'm going to do this really quick. Since he is a fullback, I'm going to make him like better at that aspect of it, you know, and Troy Nicholas is great. He really is, but at least make Sproles the starting fullback like I did. I want him and whatever it is, to him and Johnson to split carries. All right. Yeah, like for all the guys that have stamina, it's really weird. I don't mind him being the kick and punt returner, but I know that's not going to matter much. I don't know how you boost oh shoot. I don't know how you boost confidence. All right, so now I'm going to go to my depth chart, and that should put Sproles for that number 1 fullback spot. I like Gresham. I like all those guys, but I like those guys to be the fullback. Now this is going to be... Okay, so that's pretty good. I don't think Sproles is bad at fullback. I really don't. I really don't think he's bad, pretty much. And that's just my opinion about it. And I know people are going to go look at me like, oh, well, he's not good at fullback. So I also want to upgrade the TJ Logan really, really, really quick. Just as like the extra running back. So that when he's in the game, at least I know, okay, well... And also I like all my guys to be big. Just to make them like a little, like another stuff. And I want to have it heavily rely on Johnson. You know, I like Palmer, but I like Johnson. This is my only reason I started this series. It's because I've always loved David Johnson, you know. And I just think that guys like that are very good. And, you know, most of the ones I'm going to do, I've already picked what I'm going to do for my next series, my next franchise mode game. I'm going to do, not for Madden 18, but, see, last year's one was Pittsburgh. You know, they had the killer bees, which was Antonio Brown, Le'Veon Bell, you know, all those guys. And, yeah, I'm just going to put Logan as just a regular back. Just so, like, on third down when we have him, at least we know what to expect from him, or you guys know what to expect from him. He's not going to be a catching back. But I like every player to have at least good stamina. Sorry, my throat's a little... So that's pretty good, I guess. So now that shouldn't affect anything. And of course, I don't know why I have Robert Griffin III. I'm gonna let him go. I'm sorry, RG3, but you stink. Yeah, so Jeff Hireman's a third wide receiver. Nice. No, actually, it's not nice. I'm gonna do a real quick thing before I move on. Some of these guys I want to get like touchdowns. So Aaron Dobson, just so that when we do like a 4 wide receiver set, we know what to do. We know how to handle it. And you know, when you're dominant like this, you want everyone on your team to have a lot of touchdowns. That's what I'm doing here. And this should be over by like 11, depending on how I feel, unless I fall asleep from it. But what I like doing now, since we do have a big, like when I have big leads in like the fourth quarter, I just, you know, kind of tone it down and stuff. I'm going to make him tall as well. I want to literally beat up the Redskins. I want Washington to pay. I don't really care about those guys. All right, let's play the game now. I don't really need to do training when I'm dominant like this. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to do pass balanced. But I want to get pressure on... I like the 46. My favorite formation is the 46. Basically because I like getting a lot of pressure. So it'd be good. And I'm going to edit my uniform, at least for this one. Color rush, I guess. Please turn the music off. I'm live streaming, please. Paul. Thank you. Gosh, sorry about that. Like I said, my brother, like I said in my last stream, my brother doesn't really understand that, you know, my brother, you know, he doesn't understand that. I decided, I just want to do color rush, pretty much. You know, I don't know, do the Redskins have color rush? Okay, color rush. I want to do like color rush jerseys today. You know, so this is the offense. I love doing balanced offense. All right, so I will talk to you guys at the end of this game. As always, I'm 13-0 against Washington, and this should be fun. I haven't really, you know, I haven't really been like bad, and John Brown, he's amazing. I'm going to get like Dobson involved and to get other guys involved. I don't know why. I don't know why he's in that rushing yards category. All right, guys. I'll talk to you in a little. I'll talk to you.
And this is the NFL on EA Sports. With the season winding down, thoughts are already beginning to turn to the playoffs. But you gotta play it out to the end. So these gals need to keep the focus on this game and not start looking ahead to the postseason. It's the Cardinals going up against the Redskins. Set for the call of this Week 15 matchup, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, Larry, we are due east from our nation's capital at FedEx Field in Landover, Maryland. A few minutes ago, it sounded like the 4th of July on the National Mall as the hometown Redskins were introduced to this sold-out crowd. They are set to go as their guys will match up with the Arizona Cardinals. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, we look at this Redskin team as they interplay here. The losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Cardinals here, they've been flawless all year long as they hit the home stretch at 13-0.
And now they just have to guard against complacency. You still got to go out and earn it every week.
So out come the Cardinals now for their opening drive. They're led onto the field by their veteran quarterback, the former USC Trojan, Carson Palmer.
To be considered for the MVP award in the NFL, it's got to be a season of not just consistency, but spectacular consistency, and he's had it all the way through.
I think you're right. He's been as consistent, more consistent probably than anybody else as the numbers bear out. And the social media chatter for the MVP races certainly start to ramp up. I know you and I have felt that.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Right now, he's in the pole position as we head down the stretch.
Oh, that was dangerous. Threw it into coverage, almost picked, but instead they'll keep it on second down. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
2nd and 10. It's Palmer again. And the Redskins do get to him. He goes down for a sack. Zach Brown coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7. Now Palmer on 3rd and long. Flushed out right. Now he's going to throw deep right side. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Now on 4th down, we've got a whistle here and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. So the offensive unit called the TO, and now we are ready to resume play. Okay, look at this. The punt team nowhere to be found. They're on the sidelines. Offense going to go for this on the opening drive. They'll indeed go for it. Palmer rolling to his right. He's going to let this go deep, back over the middle. And this is going to be incomplete. A surprising move here on the opening drive of the game. And now the football is going to go over, already being placed at the 15-yard line. Well, it's gutsy to go for it in the red zone. The problem there is they were in their own red zone. Why in the world did they do that?
They must have thought they had the exact play call that they needed to go a big way. And I'm still not even buying that one. I'm reaching on that.
You're searching.
Actually reaching. But I do know this. On the other side of the field, that coaching staff is screaming at their defense. If you don't handle this one right here, this is a great opportunity for us. Take it away, guys. And they did.
And now excellent field position. 2nd down, Cousins. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Frosty Rucker in there yet again. What else is new as he continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks? Well, for last week's performance, which was so good, he was named NFC Defensive Player of the Week. He got a lot of praise, and understandably, and the pressure gets to him again. Chandler Jones. He's the one to get him this time, and back-to-back sacks are going to bring up a 4th down. Coming off the line, he's been wreaking havoc all year. And look, that's why, as a result, he's getting some looks for Defensive Player of the Year in the NFL.
And I know that many people don't have him first on their list right now, but he deserves that type of consideration. You mentioned it. All year long, he's made big plays and continues to do so. Imagine if he has a big game here. If so, he can vault himself right into the #1 spot.
So the opening drive for him here on their home turf results in a field goal.
Now that's the way you want to get things started. Your stadium, your crowd. You've got the ball, put points on the board first, and let everyone start to celebrate. Well, conventional football, football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these teams, special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive. Almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means...
And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. Zach Brown in there to pick up his second sack now of the afternoon.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye. That happened fast and a big sack. It's complete to Jerron Brown. And they're going to get this one up past the 25. A good pickup there at 22. And he stopped immediately there. No gain there as he kept it himself at second down. And now a look at the Washington defense.
You want to make a cornerback better? Get him a safety that patrols the middle of the field. And DJ Swearinger coming over from Arizona will do exactly that for Washington. If you play aggressive man-to-man and someone gets free, Swearinger will police the middle of the field with well-timed tackles.
Now Palmer to throw on second down. He'll find the rookie, Juju Smith-Schuster. A big seam, and he might go all the way. Touchdown, Cardinals. A big play there. 72 yards. And the Cardinals have taken the early lead. So they're going to go for two. They'll try and run for it with Johnson. And he'll get into the end zone to make it a 5-point game. And so they run it in on the 2-point try. You know, so often, Charles, we talk about from the offense's perspective what you do on the 2-point conversion. How about the defense? How do they play run versus pass?
It's really difficult for them because I think most teams want to play for the pass. That's what they see most teams do. And so are you able to mass enough people inside if the team decides to run it? Very difficult. I think what you're seeing a lot more now, people blitzing the 2-point conversion. They want you to make a quick decision and make it right now.
There, the offense wins the battle for two. Starts with Rob Kelly. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. I'm no offensive mastermind, but of all the guys on the field to block, you might want to stop him.
Look, I've got a very simple rule. An unblocked defender is usually your best defender, and he ended up making the play there.
This is Kelly. He lost 2 there, and it's third down. A tackle for loss there. 2 last week. He's tough to handle coming off the edge.
And when you talk about a defensive end, your first thought is how does he rush the passer? That's where he makes his big plays getting into the backfield. But the best ones can play the run as well. And that's what we're seeing from him, that excellent combination.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 44. And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line.
Well, surprise, surprise, partner. No, we know it's not a surprise. When you try to complete a pass against this Cardinals defense, there's a reason that they're known as the no-fly zone.
Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. Well, what do you think? You get the ball off the turnover near the middle of the field. You take a shot here in the first play?
You know I'm big on that. I love when I have great field position. After a turnover, I feel like I might have a little bit off balance. I prefer to take a shot, but a lot of coaches will tell you, you only do it if you trust the guy who's got the football in his hands. Meaning, if it's not there, he won't force it downfield and maybe turn into an interception. He'll go to the check down, go to a second option, and go ahead and take the play that's in front of him.
They stay on the ground on first with Johnson. And he'll take this one in for the Arizona touchdown. David Johnson, a 13-yard touchdown run. And the Cardinals will extend their lead. And they will line up now for the two-point try. They'll try and run for it with Johnson. And he will dive into the end zone, and the two-point conversion is successful. So 2 successful two-point tries now for them.
And you know what it does? It gives you a boost, a huge one for your team because, hey, you're dominating them now. They can't stop you either scoring touchdowns or two-point conversions. But how about the defense? You don't know what to do at this stage. You can't stop them in any direction.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. It's been an awfully slow start for them. This is their 3rd possession. They don't have a first down yet.
That means they have to change up what they're doing, and for some teams, it's a change in tempo, usually moving it to more up-tempo type of an offense just to try and change their fortunes right now. What they've been doing so far isn't working. Maybe they'll do that.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Robert Kindici in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. They got to figure this out. They got to figure him out. 4 sacks last week. Now one in the first quarter. What do?
Well, great pass rushers usually have a go-to move. But the best pass rushers, they have counters to their go-to move. So they'll show you that. Then when you adjust, they counter it and still get to the quarterback. And you don't pile up that many sacks. What do you have, 4 in the game last week? Without having some go-to moves with counters.
That'll go as a loss of 5. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. Working out of the gun, Cousins. On the catch, it's Crowder. And he'll be just shy of the 20 at the 19 as he goes out of bounds. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
Gets it away, and I don't think Peterson will get a chance to touch this one. Angling for the sideline. David Johnson now gears up to help lead this offense back on the field. And you see his numbers from a week ago. He was up over 100 yards then, and he's already hit pay dirt here once in this one.
We always talk about quarterbacks and receivers getting into rhythm, right? Really feeling good, finding each other downfield. I think running backs operate the same way. They can hit a good rhythm and a good stride, and he's carrying it over from last week. Granted, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. Palmer will throw. Throw left side, complete to Smith-Schuster. The 20. 10. Touchdown, Cardinals. A big play there. 78 yards. And the Cardinals now adding on to their lead. And the record for receptions in a single season has been eclipsed.
Which tells you one thing. Not only is he getting open, he's not dropping anything that comes his way. What a fantastic season, jumping over the really high bar that had been set previously.
He's one of the best ever. And they are 3 for 3 on two-point conversions as he is into the end zone for the score. Here's Dawson now to kick this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. Out comes the Washington offense as we get a look at the playoff race in the NFC. And it's right about this time of year you start to say this is when the cream rises to the top. Week 15, 3 weeks left to go, but still plenty to be determined.
And I think for most teams, the obvious is to try and be the number 1 or number 2 seed. But when you look at it across the league and throughout the history of trying to get to the Super Bowl, the teams you really fear are the ones that get hot and sometimes sneak in at a 5 or a 6 seed because we've seen those teams actually get to the Super Bowl and occasionally win it.
Yeah, you think of the Giants a couple of times. Steelers have done it. You're right. It has happened and will happen more in the future, I'm sure. We were just talking about him pregame. 3 tackles for a loss. Last week you thought he looked so explosive on film. Starting off good there. Another one in the first quarter.
He's every bit of what you described. And I don't want to make it too simplistic, but right now for him, it's see ball, get ball. And that's what he's doing really, really well, and he's doing it in the offense's backfield. No gain on that run, and while this team is down, they're not out of it by any stretch of the imagination. Maybe you just have to think about different style of running in order to get this guy going.
3rd and long for Cousins. Pressure comes, and the Cardinals bring him down.
This Cardinals pass rush in 2016 got home 48 times. That's a pretty good number.
A very good number. Led the league. Is it just because the dudes that they had, or the scheme, or both, or what?
It's always the dudes first, but their scheme, attacking, pressure, they'll continue to pile up the sacks.
Now it's Peterson. Escapes the defender. Oh, and now he bowls him over. A terrific return there. 27 yards all told. And the Cardinals, great field position to start this drive as they take over 1st and 10. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. David Johnson with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Cardinals will extend their lead. And a pair of rushing touchdowns now for him in the first quarter.
And I'm liking what I'm seeing from his big guys up front, because they're winning the leverage game. How many times we talk about low man wins, right? Move the defensive front aside, create those gaps and holes. He's found his way through for 2 touchdowns.
And after both of those touchdowns, he went right up to that O-line and hit each of them on the helmet. He recognized it.
That's a smart man. You know what else he should do? If this continues, take them all to dinner.
Aggression has no doubt been their game. They've got the lead. They had converted 3 straight 2-point conversions. Finally, it catches up to them.
I remember last year when they were putting the PAT in where you had to kick it from the 15. I asked all the coaches that I talked to, what's your plan? And they're like, look, we're starting to have full periods of 2-point conversion tries.
A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
That goes down as a loss against his rushing stats. But really, should he have to absorb that one? He had no chance on that play before they overwhelmed him.
Pretty much on top of him before he could take his first step. They run with it. It's Kelly. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Just a yard there, so it brings up a tough 3rd and 12. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now.
Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. And the Cardinals have got it, going the other way. And he'll bring it back to the 9-yard line.
That's a down and distance coaches always talk about trying to avoid, isn't it? I mean, that's 3rd and long. And you just know they're pinning their ears back and coming after him, sometimes even with extra pressure.
And he knew that. I mean, he knew they were coming. He just fumbled it.
Yeah, he knew it. The offensive line knew it. Everyone did, yet the pressure was still there, and he ended up coughing it up.
Following the fumble recovery, it's Palmer. He's got his man. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. And they'll get set here looking for the 2-point conversion. They'll try and run for it with Johnson. And they are just not going to let up as he is into the end zone here for 2 more. And they're able to ground it in there on the 2-point try. And you and I were talking before the game. that two-point conversions from the 15-16 season, what has changed, what hasn't changed, partner?
Yeah, I'll tell you what's changed is just your normal strategy, because now you're either kicking the football with the ball on the 15-yard line, or if you decide to go for two, they put it on the 2-yard line. So what are you thinking as a coach? Do I risk it? Do I go for it here? Do I try and gain a strategic advantage and maybe go for two early? That's what people are wondering about.
Now a play fake here on first down. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Chandler Jones in there to record another sack, their 6th of the afternoon.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Now a second down throw for Cousins. And he's going to go down again. Dayon Buchanan in there to drop him, and sacks on first and second downs are going to lead to a 3rd and long.
So, Brandon, we sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down.
Are we on the same page here, partner? Because I think they had the right idea. Just take what you can get on 3rd and forever.
Yeah, in real life, I'd say yes. It's just these video games are tempting. You want to go downfield with it.
I like the way you've evolved.
Yeah.
You know, you've learned how to play it the Madden way.
So on the return is Peterson. Fighting through it, he's got space. Touchdown, Cardinals. Patrick Peterson with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Cards continue to pour it on.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strike ability, as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
And the route is on here in this first half. So after surrendering the punt return for a score, let's see what they can do in turn on this kickoff. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And here come the Redskins now. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area. They always say the real estate is about location. Well, guess what? When it's a slant route, the quick ones, timing, timing, timing. Got to be able to lead your man with the football.
And the timing off right there, threw it behind him. A give, this is Kelly. And it worked his way across the 30 to the 32. Second down, a little more productive than first. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now.
Okay, he didn't break that one all the way, but you got to know that he feels like he's right on the verge, and that's probably exactly what he's telling them in the huddle right now.
3rd and short yardage, Cousins. And that is incomplete.
You absolutely have to have this early on, right? 3rd and short, they elect to throw for it, and that's normal NFL football. They're going to throw on 3rd and short, but you've got to hit it, don't you?
Yeah, in the first quarter, like you said, to set the tone, can't connect there. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Oh, he'll field it in the end zone. So a change of possession here on the punt. The Cardinals will take over at their 20-yard line. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters. Because
David Johnson on his way. The 30, 10, and he'll take this one in for the Arizona touchdown. David Johnson doing it again with his third touchdown here in the opening quarter. And the Cardinals add on. And with that carry, he's already over 100 yards here in the first half.
And, partner, you know exactly what he's saying to his teammates right now, right? Especially to the play caller.
Give me the ball.
Again,
and again,
and again. And again. It's not that heavy, sir. I'll take it.
Oh, and it's no good. He tugged it wide left, and that will keep our score right where it is. Here's Dawson now to kick this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
They'll start on the ground with Kelly. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action, hit them over the top.
They'll keep it in the hands of Kelly. And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. Well, a well-executed blitz, no doubt. Great job by the linebacker. Maybe the quarterback, if he could have seen that, could have audibled there.
Yeah, he needed to be in a different play because that one just meshed perfectly for the defense. All the gaps were filled except for the one the offense really wanted to run through, and that was filled by a big man wanting to make a tackle.
And he made a great tackle. And this is going to be incomplete.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
Here's Tressway now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback.
Sup. Send me a
Arizona
request.
getting ready to go as they take the field.
K. After this.
And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. And now running right through it. Breaks the tackle. He's got room to run. That good for 19 and a first down. Another good run there for a guy who, remember, on Wednesday was named NFC Offensive Player of the Week for what he did a week ago.
Yeah, and you know it takes some solid runs and some extra special ones in order to win that type of an award. I think he's locked in and wants to get it done a second time.
You had a touchdown right there.
So 1 quarter in the books on a cold December afternoon.
What happened?
It's the Cardinals off to the early lead. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry.
It was
Snickers
the end of the
satisfies.
Ready to go now in the second quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. It's the Cardinals in possession of the football, and they've got it here with a first down. Again, it's Johnson. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on first down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. On second down, here's Palmer. He's going to rifle one deep left side. That's caught inside the 20. A big-time play there by the Cardinals. And even 50 yards. And that catch puts him past the great Jerry Rice. For the most receiving yards in a single season, he's now up over 1,848.
At one point, we called Jerry Rice Flash. How about the dash we saw here today? The dash towards his record and past it. What a tremendous achievement. And how much fun is it for us to be here to witness it?
It's a pinch-me moment for us.
Let's give this defense some credit now. They let the guys get downfield. But when push came to shove, they stood their ground. And now they'll likely force a field goal attempt.
Palmer now. And that is caught. Touchdown, Cardinals. Troy Nicholas, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Cards continue to pour it on.
Well, the lost sleep that the defensive coordinator had all week preparing for this game, a good portion of it was trying to prepare for him because he's absolutely a phenomenal player.
And a lot of times around the goal line, they know it's going to him. It's just so hard to stop.
And that's where it really becomes difficult because you're exactly right. They know it's going to him, yet they still can't stop it. That tells you when you're a dominant player.
And boy, talk about adding insult to injury. He's into the end zone to tack on 2 more. They get the conversion. And Charles, when you only have 2 yards to go, what do you think of the toss play? Because initially it kind of set you back a little bit.
It does, especially if you get a lot of pressure coming towards you. But if you can get to the edge, if you seal the edge with your blocking, often your tackle or your tight end on what they call the play side where the ball goes, you can get to the corner, and that allows those big guys to get out ahead of the runner.
There's Rob Kelly now as he and the offense head back out. He's had a good chunk of carries. Problem is for very little success. I don't want to put it all on his shoulders, but that's a big reason they're losing right now.
Have to be very careful that he doesn't start pointing fingers. Offensive line obviously trying. The defense is doing a nice job against him today. When it's all said and done, it's all about the guy in the mirror. He has to get it done better going forward.
See if he can look and do some soul searching now. They go play action here on first down. Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. And the Cardinals have got it, going the other way. And he'll be marked down at the 2-yard line. He already had the 1 fumble loss, so now 2 fumbles lost here in this first half.
Not setting the pace the way that you want it done. I mean, here in the first half, already twice the ball's come out and hit the turf. Got to find a way to take care of it. Otherwise, they may have to start thinking about maybe someone different.
He's got his man. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. And with that touchdown reception, we have a new single-season leader. We were waiting for this moment. We got to see it here.
How much fun is it that we were here to see it? And this guy's able to catch touchdown passes from everywhere. Red zone, out in the field. It didn't matter. You put in his vicinity, he carried it over the goal line.
Well, they got the ball in great field position. 1 play later, boom, end zone. Here's Dawson now to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. Here's Terrell Pryor now as his guys head back out onto the field. Hasn't had his best day to this point here in the second quarter. They're losing. You got to think, though, that also means that maybe the defense doing a good job on him. There's two sides to that coin.
I would agree, so you have to give them credit, but that means you've got to find a way to beat that defense and make sure one of your top playmakers touches the football and has an impact on the game. Change formations, change where he lines up, put him in motion. Anything possible to shake him free.
Maybe that greater impact comes here on this drive.
Yes, indeed. That play there, that reminds me of some of the guys that I played with that have that suddenness, able to get into the backfield almost about the time the ball snapped and make a play. How about that tackle?
Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. And fortunately, he's able to reel it back in, but it's going to go down as a big loss here on the play.
Well, that was a big oops right there. But how about his ability to correct it? Loses the football, able to get it back himself.
Yeah, pounced right back on it, keeps possession. On third down, Kelly. And he'll go down after losing yardage at the 10. A loss of a yard, and it brings up fourth.
We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line is just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you've got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with the pass blocking. But you've got to help them get some confidence because you can't abandon the play calling right now.
We remind you that coming up later tonight, this is going to be a good one. The Cowboys and the Raiders going at it in the East Bay.
Oh, that's old school right there.
Old school indeed. Then Monday night, another good late season matchup. The Falcons and the Buccaneers from Tampa to wrap up Week 15. Throwing now, Palmer on first down. From the left side, it's complete. And he'll take this one in for the Arizona touchdown. A big play there. 61 yards. And the Cardinals add on. And that touchdown reception is the 5th for him in this game, and that ties the NFL record.
And a record that's held up since 1950. This is another person that's tied it, but think about this. Bob Shaw said it in 1950. Kellen Winslow came along and tied it. And then, of course, Jerry Rice tied it as well. And finally, we're seeing it here one more time. Phenomenal.
And they are just not going to let up as he is into the end zone here for 2 more. So they kept it on the ground, got it into the end zone. But, Charles, sometimes you probably see teams treat a 2-point conversion differently than if it was 1st and goal from the 2, or I should say 3rd and goal from the 2.
I agree with you totally on that. A lot of teams treat it as if they have farther to go and shy away from running the football. I think this is a great spot to do it because most teams play you for the pass. Go ahead and run and let your linemen surge and fire out.
Here's Terrell Pryor now as his guys head back out onto the field. A chance maybe here for them to get him more involved. They're down here on the scoreboard, and he's been very quiet.
And the silence has been deafening for his team. They don't need that at all. They need fireworks. They need explosive plays. They need him touching the football in any way possible. Maybe go to some jet sweeps. Anything to get him going.
Well, something to get him the ball. We'll see if they can do it. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
And he'll be brought down here at the 28. 4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
He gets this away as he'll wisely, I'd say, angle this to the sideline. And this will be out of bounds, and they spot it at the 15-yard line. Not too bad. The Cardinal offense now making their way back out onto the field. And last time the formula was pretty simple. One play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, one play drive is exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was real easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
Yeah, we'll see if it's that easy here. Now Palmer. To the flat, that's complete to his running back. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. It's a gain of 9 yards. And it'll be second and about a yard.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
On second down, Palmer. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
First and 10, it's Palmer. It's complete. It's Sproles. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup, and that'll bring up second down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Palmer to throw again. And he slings one that's incomplete. Juju Smith-Schuster, the intended receiver that time. And it's third and short. He's lucky to be getting that one back.
After what they've done with him all day long, with all the targets trying to go after him, he's obviously gotten smart, and his pride has kicked in. Made a terrific play.
They'll run it with Sproles. Darren Sproles past the 20. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. Darren Sproles, his 19th touchdown now on the season. And the Cards continue to pour it on. Well, they were just hoping that run would pick up the first. They got the whole enchilada.
And I'm so used to teams on third down, doesn't matter how far they need for a first down, throwing the ball. Instead, they run it, and as you said, picked up the first down, and then some, and then some. In fact, everything, all the way for a touchdown. Terrific play.
Here's Dawson now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Kirk Cousins now gearing up to lead this offense back out there. In second quarter, they're down big already. He's struggling as well. They've got to find something here. He's got to find something on this drive.
And sometimes you take on all that extra pressure on yourself, and maybe you have to disperse it a little bit. Lean on some other people, lean on your teammates, find someone who can take the pressure off and get the ball in their hands for a while.
Or this, if he doesn't, this is getting out of hand, or it could get worse. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
When you're putting together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game.
They'll go again with Kelly. And he'll take it ahead to the 28-yard line. And it looks like a pickup of 6. That leaves him with 7 yards to go on third down.
But you've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball, because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
To throw is Cousins. Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. And he will score. Touchdown, Cardinals. This first half has been a nightmare for that offense. Defense just dominating them.
And when you're picking up the ball, picking up their mistakes, and taking it the other way and putting it in the end zone, that's a defense's dream. They're having that type of a game.
Everything that can go wrong has gone wrong for this offensive unit. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Here's Terrell Pryor now as his guys head back out onto the field. Looking down at the stats here, realizing he has no catches. They've targeted him twice, but no catches. So how do they get him more involved, Charles?
You make sure he touches it on routes that he likes to run. Maybe even run a reverse or some type of a jet sweep so he gets his hands on the ball and get him active and involved in the game. You just try and find ways to get him going, and it doesn't have to be something that's big downfield.
Maybe kind of like in basketball, just a shooter seeing the ball go through, you get him a rip. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and the Cardinals have got it going the other way. And his guys will take over at the 14-yard line in the red zone.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. Now, these guys hardly got a chance to catch their breath after the quick turnover, but I doubt they're complaining much.
Especially with the field position they get to start with. I wouldn't be complaining either. I'd want to get right back out there and get after them because now you have an opportunity to make a big play. I'd say let's be aggressive and go after it.
Oh, and it's incomplete. That would have been big in the end zone if he could have held on. Instead, it's second down.
Not only did they drop what looked like an interception in the end zone, they blew a golden opportunity to shift the momentum.
To throw is Palmer, and the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
You don't want to throw away this excellent field position, but that's 2 incomplete passes in a row. Definitely need something big here on 3rd and 10.
Conversely, defense has done a good job on 1st and 2nd down. The coverage has been draped. Now Palmer to throw. This will be caught at about the 6. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. Jerron Brown, his 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Cardinals add on. And there they got him the ball. Just get it to him, let him do the rest.
You know, he probably said that to his quarterback as he broke the huddle. I like the play call. Just get it to me. I'll take care of the rest of it.
Helping out his rack, right? RAC?
Run after catch, and he loves that, and he's going to carry that in at contract time.
Here's Dawson now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. There's Rob Kelly now as he and the offense head back out. Now, I'm not going to say you completely abandon the passing game, but it would really behoove them to get this running game going more.
That's the identity most teams are seeking. Able to establish themselves, control the game by running it. Have to touch it multiple times in order to have success in this game.
Yeah, as we say, yeah, that's right. As we say all the time, that sets up the passing game. I feel like a broken record with that.
Listen, we can be broken records all we want. Bottom line is, lather up that big horse and let him run.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Gotta love the catch. I think you got to love the gloves as well.
Yeah, these one-handed catches, that was great, and they're fun. They become a little more ho-hum, aren't they?
Yeah, they really are, and I know that it sounds like we're taking credit away from the guys, and we don't mean that at all. They really work hard on this one-handed catch thing, but I think the gloves have to be helping in a big way.
He came out ready to play. That's 3 tackles for a loss, Charles. We're only in the second quarter.
And that's problematic for the guys trying to run offense because that means he's got a pretty good idea of what they're doing and is actually beating them to the point of attack and making those plays. Not to think about some misdirection or something to try and get him away from the ball.
And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
Partner, you mind if I take off this headset and put on a coaching headset?
You want to get this running game going?
I want to get this running game going. I'm going down there and saying, gentlemen, we have got to run the football. We've got to get it going right now.
Yeah, he struggled. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and that just continued there with that incompletion.
Yeah, definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
Here's Tressway now. He's been terrific so far. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. He'll return it from the 6. Powers through him. Oh, and now he bowls him over. An excellent return that time, 26 yards. And the Cards will take over, 1st and 10. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. They are clicking on all cylinders. They seem to be just scoring at will right now, and that's why they've opened up this big lead.
Now, we always talk about getting into the zone, and all athletes are seeking that, aren't they? But everything is working for them. Every move they make works. It clicks, and they are on point right now.
Yeah, they are in that zone that you're talking about. They go to Johnson again. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the
Channel
field.
Man.
In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
Thanks. Can you go describe to my channel, man?
Here's Sproles, and he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Well, he's looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
I did.
On 2nd down, Johnson. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play, and they'll be facing a 3rd and 12. Now a 10th carry for Johnson. That's David Johnson on his way. And he cuts it right into space. And they'll get him to the ground, but he got all the way down to the 30-yard line. A big hitter there, a 1st down gain of 26 yards.
That's how you get right up off of the
No,
mat,
you
because
didn't.
on the last play, they stoned him in the backfield and dropped him for a loss. But he's the type of guy that scared me a little bit because he's not daunted. Just got right back up, showed some confidence, and picked up a 1st down with his very next run.
A 1st down carry here for Johnson. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 1:59 to go in the 1st half. Back to FedEx Field following this short break. A reminder that coming up in 2
Now
minutes,
I
we'll
did.
check in with Larry Ridley in Orlando with highlights and analysis of this 1st half of play.
And I'm going to check in with a heater.
Thanks,
I'm going to
man.
be right there with you, partner. So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. Oh, they go with a tight end carry. And now running right through him. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
This is Johnson. They got 2 of the 3 they needed there. It leaves them with 3rd and just a yard.
Sometimes play calls boil down to philosophy. You know you're facing one of the top 10 units against the run in the NFL. So do you decide to keep smashing against them, or do you decide to throw the ball here?
They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And he will have the first down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line.
Did you sub to new channel yet, man?
They only got 2, but that was enough as they'll convert to make it 1st and goal.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. They'll try and run. This is Johnson. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. Not time enough for a play and then a timeout, you wouldn't think. So with 4 seconds left, they're going for it. And now it's 2nd and goal. And Palmer gives to Johnson. And he is in for 6. Touchdown, Cardinals. David Johnson in the final seconds of the first half. And the Cards continue to pour it on. And that rushing touchdown is 4th, puts him just 1 shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it. But he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
On the return, here's a speedy Jamison Crowder. So we have reached halftime with the visiting Cardinals out in front. As we are off to Orlando now to check in with Larry Ridley. He's standing by with our EA Sports halftime report. Larry?
Okay, Brandon, thanks, and welcome everyone to our EA. Let's get to the highlights. The Redskins have been worked over in the first half and trail big right now. The Cardinals have done whatever they want, and they'll just try to keep that up in the second half. So here we go. Let's take a look at some of the highlights from the first half. Cardinals taking control early in the first. Coverage breaks down here. And this 4-play drive goes for a touchdown. They go ahead by 5. Down to the middle of the first. Palmer is going to find his mark. This play goes for a score. The Cardinals up now by 21. Redskins would punt it away. Peterson's got a chance for a return, and this long run goes for a touchdown. Cardinals in control. Now 1st and 10. Johnson's got great blocking here, and he'll take this all the way for the touchdown. As this wild first half continues. 1st and 10. Palmer's on point with the throw, and he'll take this all the way for a touchdown. The Cardinals in a shootout. Midway through the second quarter. Sproles is going to stay inside after the handoff, and this 4-play drive goes for a touchdown. Cardinals take over late in the second. The points coming easy today. Johnson's going to look for a gap, and he capped off the long drive with the TD.
Okay, Larry, a fairly one-sided first half as we get set to go in the second half. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. This is taken near the 13. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Redskins offense now, they get set to take over here. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. So they take over not only in enemy territory, but in the red zone at the 16-yard line.
Well, partner, they went empty set there. No backs in the backfield. All receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else there to protect him.
No one else there to protect, which means he's got to get rid of the football and absorb the hit, but not go down and fumble the ball.
And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Third quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Now it's Sproles. Broken tackle. And he'll take this one in for the Arizona touchdown. Darren Sproles with touchdown number 20 on the year. And the Cards use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
Here's Dawson now to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
You like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
Cousins now on second down. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. Give him 8 on the play, and that is going to set up a 3rd and 1. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And he'll take this in at the 1-yard line. Oh, and now he bowls him over. Nearly a huge return, as it is still a very good one. 24 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. So out now come the Cardinals. And last time out, another touchdown, and I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the 4th quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this was just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? Who? You and me, trying to get to the airport.
That's
the road
true.
should be fairly clear
that is
by the time
one
we have to
positive.
leave the booth.
And this one complete to Jermaine Gresham. That one goes for 24 yards. So on that play, defense was in the zone. They ran a crossing route offensively, but the defense there, you got to be good with communication, don't you?
You certainly do, and it's not something that is really evident when you watch it on the screen. but everyone's talking, communicating, pointing, and it keeps you from chasing receivers because you have a specific zone you have to cover. When a receiver's in your zone and he crosses to another one, you got to let your guy know. They got a completion there, but I like the discipline they show to stay in their proper areas and then make the tackle.
Looking to throw on second down. Palmer. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
They go play action now. Palmer, flush to his right. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
Man, defensively, that hurts. They got him out of his rhythm. They had him hemmed in, but somehow he was able to tuck it away and get away for a gain.
Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Now it's Palmer. This will be caught at about the 6. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. That'll bring up 2nd and goal after the gain of 5. Palmer now off the bootleg. And that is caught. Touchdown, Cardinals. Jermaine Gresham with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Cardinals add on. And a play fake down near the goal line here worked out well.
Anytime you can make them think that you're going to run the ball and go to that play action pass, you see the end result, usually a touchdown.
Is that harder? Is the play fake harder to defend for the defense near the goal line or no? Because there's not as much room to work with?
It is harder because down near the goal line, you're thinking much more of a running play, especially if people run out big formations. So it is harder to defend.
Now the Redskins offense, they get set to go back to work here. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up.
Yeah.
Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think he might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. Play action now. Cousins under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Robert Kimdichie in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. Well, that's 2 sacks in this game, so add that to the 4 from last week. I think that's 6.
Good math. Excellent math. And look, he's going to get all the attention. He deserves it. He got home and got the quarterback on the ground. But that's a concentrated team effort because you got a lot of guys who occupy blockers.
Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. And fortunately for him, he's able to get it back, but it will be a loss on the play.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And he is out of bounds on the other side of midfield. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50. 1st and 10. Play action. It's Palmer. And he'll get it down here to the 43. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up 2nd down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
And that is incomplete. He was in search of the tight end, Troy Nicholas. And it's 3rd down. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, 3rd quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall. Well, the secondary's really struggled today, but that's a little bit of a measure of revenge, isn't it? And they just followed the basic rules. See ball, knock ball away, turned into a nice play.
He's got the distance, but it's no good. Wide to the right, and this score will stay right where it is. All things considered, a pretty good kick. Just cruel punishment there to be denied by the crossbar.
If you're going to hit from that distance, sometimes you're going to need a little luck. And unfortunately for him, this time the break goes against him.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's not even going to get back to the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Oftentimes when you're not winning at the point of attack for an offensive line, maybe they're getting out physical. Spread things out a little bit, make it more of a one-on-one blocking scheme. Then you don't have to win it physically. You just have to win it by position. That may open things up for your running backs.
So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down.
All right, Brandon, you know me as well as anyone. You know I don't usually advocate abandoning things during a game, but here we are in the second half. I think it's time to change things up. Let the running game go a little bit.
And the pressure will bring him down here. The Cardinals get home for the sack. Dayon Buchanan in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
This is away and a very good kick, angled for the sidelines. And they won't risk defending a return here. That one's out of bounds, and it'll be spotted at the 14-yard line. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And the last go-around for them, they tried that really, really long field goal, couldn't connect.
And in retrospect, I think a lot of people would say, well, why would you try one that long? You hurt yourself in field position. The ball comes out, there. That only helps the other team. But I look at it as maybe it was a double shot of confidence. Confident the kicker could make it. And even if he missed, confident in their defense that they could hold him. So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make.
David Johnson on his way. He's at the 40, 20, 10, 5. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. David Johnson, 84 yards. And the Cards continue to pour it on. Well called, well blocked, and then he just made a great play. That was an athlete going a long way.
Yeah, how about the suddenness, too, of just getting there and taking off and going? For the defensive guys, plays like that really hurt.
So 2 plays on that scoring drive. That's how they drew it up. And the long run into the end zone, and what a run it was. Here's Dawson now to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and he'll take over at the 25. So out now come the Redskins.
And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22.
Wasn't that long ago that the NFL guys really didn't adopt much from the college game. But one thing that has crept in there is spreading things out, opening things up, not even just in tempo, but maybe getting better line splits and spreading the field. I think that would be a great strategy right now to try and open things up in the run game.
Second down, Cousins. His throw incomplete. Brian Quick, the intended target. And now it's 3rd down.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet.
Incomplete pass on 2nd down. Let's see what the offense draws up here on 3rd. Cousins now. The Cards get to him here. He's brought down for a sack. Corey Peters in there to drop him for a loss of 10. And it'll be 4th and long.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Here's Tressway now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. And this one will wind up being down just outside of that 20-yard line. The Cardinal offense here ready to take over, and they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
They begin the drive with Johnson. And they're able to get this one across the 35. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Here's Palmer. Goes underneath for Sproles. And he goes out right around the 39. Give him 3 on the play, and that'll make it 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Now Palmer to throw on 2nd down. Dumping it off for Johnson. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. Final minute now of the 3rd quarter. Here's Johnson. He's been busy this afternoon. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Time running out here on the play clock. And as they come to the line. They will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at FedEx Field, and this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. Now Palmer on first down. Screen play. Johnson got some real estate inside the 30. A really nice gain of 25 yards. And now he's closing in on 450 yards passing.
That's an incredible number. I mean, you're talking about the best defenders in the world that you're trying to throw the ball against, and you're creating that type of a number. Fantastic job, fantastic performance. And he's going to have to ice up his arm afterwards, too.
Here's Johnson. And a broken tackle could not free him. Taken down right at the 10-yard line. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. To throw on 2nd down. Palmer. And he'll take this one in for the Arizona touchdown. Troy Nicholas with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Cardinals add on. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the fourth quarter. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. Out comes the Washington offense as we get a look at the playoff race in the NFC. And it's right about this time of year you start to say this is when the cream rises to the top. Week 15, 3 weeks left to go, but still plenty to be determined.
And I think for most teams, the obvious is to try and be the number 1 or number 2 seed. But when you look at it across the league and throughout the history of trying to get to the Super Bowl, the teams you really fear are the ones that get hot and sometimes sneak in at a 5 or a 6 seed, because we've seen those teams actually get to the Super Bowl and occasionally win it.
Yeah, you think of the Giants a couple of times. Steelers have done it. You're right. It has happened and will happen more in the future, I'm sure. On 2nd down, Cousins again. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good.
Pressure comes, and the Cardinals bring him down. Corey Peters in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And now the punter, Tress Way, as he sends this one away. And they'll go ahead and down this one right on the chalk of the 20-yard line. The Cardinals offense now works their way back onto the field. And Charles, in a very one-sided affair, I think we reached the point in the broadcast where you and I, we may have some filling to do, right?
Yeah, I think you're right about that, because we got to try and keep people around. We don't want them to change the channel. Stay with us in this game. Is that Ben Ramsar? Are you hearing from Ben on the headset here? Tell us, stretch this thing out a little bit.
Get some talking points. Dig them all out.
That's what you get. A big-time producer. Keep them here.
He got 29 yards that time. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
Broke through some contact, but unable to reach the 40. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and it'll make it 2nd down. Now it's Palmer. They'll roll him out right. And he almost... Intercepted it. They haven't picked a ball off yet. That probably should have been their first. And it's third down now. Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people pointed out to me, it's a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. Now a play fake here on first down. Oh, and it's incomplete. That would have been big in the end zone if he could have held on. Instead, it's second down.
You got to be precise with your throws, especially in this situation. You're inside the 10-yard line going into the end zone. But sometimes the emotion, the excitement, sometimes the decisions just aren't made very well because of that.
Garoppolo. And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out.
Pass interference, defense.
And yes, they want the points, so they will decline the penalty, no question there.
You don't think they spent a couple seconds mulling over what the penalty would do for them?
I don't even know why they asked the sideline.
Not at all. When you put the ball in the end zone on a takeaway, take the points and keep moving.
They'll try and run for it with Johnson. Muscles him off. And, boy, talk about adding insult to injury. He's into the end zone to tack on two more. Oh, boy, rubbing a little salt in the wound there, going for two up this big.
You know, there's one time when I played, Brandon, and played against a team that was just absolutely pile driving us. And they ended up going for two late in the game. And I asked one of the guys, why'd you do that? He said, because we wanted to win by more. That feels like that type of situation.
Wow. Well, it could also result in a melee later, though. The Redskins offense now, they head back onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Throwing, Cousins. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
Well, they're slinging it. And then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
That came in hot, but overthrown, out of his reach and incomplete. A second down throw for Cousins. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was looking for Terrell Pryor that time. And it's third down.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
On the run, it's Kelly. And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line. Another carry, same story. Fourth quarter, and he is in red numbers right now with a running game.
Hard to believe because you figure at some point a run, but in this case what we're seeing is just pure domination by the defense. I think it started with the scouting report. They got into what they were doing offensively, into their mindset, and now they're beating them to the punch on every snap.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Call that one an even 60 yards, 6-0. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive that culminated in a touchdown, I think they carry that confidence into this one. Doesn't matter where you start with the football now, they have to feel great about their opportunity.
A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Jimmy Garoppolo, the starter here, finally lured away from the Patriots. What are some things you like about JG?
Well, I love his makeup, meaning obviously he has a physical ability. He can throw the football, but he's mentally tough as well. And he developed while he was there in New England. They actually trained him to be a starter even though he wasn't getting any type of snaps. And this guy adapts and thrives with the ability to play against pressure.
And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up a second in just about a few inches here.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. And I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there. I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. Johnson on the counter. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's third down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And brought down, but not before he was able to break the tackle, and the extra effort moves the sticks. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on third down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
A decent run there following the display of quick feet down just inside the 45. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
I know that every now and then we get in those meetings with coaches, and you almost want to roll your eyes when they talk about staying on schedule when they're moving the football. But would you say a 7-yard run is ahead of schedule?
Fourth quarter with a lead, you love that, don't you?
No doubt about it, because staying on schedule is trying to get 4 downs on first down. They did that plus 3. Well, he did almost everything right. Excellent coverage, breaks on the football, just unable to haul it in and take it the other way. So he dropped an interception. The key for him now, don't dwell on it. Just move on to the next play.
Sproles. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on third down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, third down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. They'll hand it off now, Johnson. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
So they pick up the first down after the run, and now they approach for the fresh set. And he'll give it here to his running back. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They got to feel pretty good about that one.
It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
I know we're in the era of wide-open football, a lot of spread formations, more space. But there's still a spot for power football, and we just saw some of it right there. How about that run?
Yeah, breaking the tackle, and, you know, late in this game, he wants the football in his hands. He's had a good day. Now a handoff, Johnson. And he's going to get it inside the 10 to the 7-yard line.
Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
I know you're trying to wring every yard out of a run, but I think 9 yards there is ideal in this situation.
Yeah, now next couple plays, you only need 1 yard. Keep that clock rolling with a lead here in the 4th.
Yeah, and what you're saying is maybe if it takes you 1 or 2 more runs to get the first down, that's extra time, extra play.
And he'll take this one in for the Arizona touchdown. David Johnson taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Cards continue to pour it on. And, my friend, I think it's safe to say that this game is pretty much deceased at this point. It's taken a knee, so to speak.
It is definitely this victory formation. Take the snap, take the knee, call it a night, call it a game, call it whatever. I agree with you totally. I don't think there's much left to get except for those who want to run up the score.
I knew this was over about a minute ago when you took your stat sheet and just flipped it over your shoulder in the trash can.
Yeah, that's similar to the guys cutting tape off right before the game's over. We know this thing's done.
This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting. Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
Throwing again, Cousins on 2nd and 10. Caught on the right side, Reed. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation. From the gun, here's Cousins, and that is incomplete.
We always talk about receivers. If the ball hits your hand, you're supposed to haul it in, but it is hard to adjust to a pass thrown a little bit behind you.
That one was all the momentum going forward. Couldn't contort his body back to grab it. Here's Tressway now as he's on to punt for Washington. Calls for the fair catch, makes the fair catch just inside the 15-yard line. And when it's said and done, it's a 58-yard punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And the Cardinals getting set to trot out there now. And they had to go the length of the field last time out to get into the end zone. And with this starting field position, they're going to have to pretty much do it again.
And I think the thought process going into it is, hey, if you have to be methodical, go ahead and do that. But what you really want are a couple of big plays. Eat up chunks of yardage and cut down the number of times you have to snap the football.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. That good for 19 and a 1st down. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So the Cardinals, they've got the football here as we get you reset. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here at 1st and 10. Johnson running right. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
I've got an idea. Let's skip racing to the airport at the end of this game. Let's go to the post-game press conference. I have a feeling that the quarterback of this winning team he's going to be giving a whole lot of credit to the running game and the offensive line.
Yeah, I was just going to say the offensive line, yes, carrying the ball has been key, but those guys up front, they've made a lot of space. Going to give this time to the tailback. And he might have got this across midfield, not by much. They'll mark it down at the 49. A gain of 3, second down.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. Was that 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting third and about 4 to go. Now a handoff here to his running back. It's a pickup of 3, but it brings up what will be an interesting 4th and 1. Bruce Arians with a decision to make it. He's made it. They're going to go on 4th down. They're going to run. It Sproles. And the broken tackle helps lead to a 1st down gain. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And on 4th down, they're able to convert and move the sticks.
Brandon, this is a good spot in the field to go for it. A lot of coaches call this no man's land. A field goal is no sure thing, and neither is a punt. They made the right choice, went for it, and picked up the 1st down.
They find some open field here. And he'll be out of bounds. That one good for 33 and a 1st.
Well, plenty of credit has to go to the guy carrying the ball. He broke the tackle and gained the yardage. But that doesn't necessarily mean that the defender's bad. They're not going to make 100% of the tackles all the time. Even the best in the game will miss one occasionally. The key is not to let it snowball and miss tackle after tackle. On that play, credit to the offense, but that doesn't make the defense bad.
And we will get a timeout with 2 ticks left. And we're hitting the end of this one, and it looks to probably be the final play. On the toss, here's Johnson. And he takes it in for the score on the game's final play, so it doesn't affect the outcome, but a little whipped cream on top to their ending.
Or as our friends in Bayou Country would say, that's a little lagniappe, a little extra on top.
And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now, because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Cardinals, they move ever closer to the perfect regular season as they run things to 14-0. And they'll return home next week to take on the New York Giants. Meanwhile, for Washington, their playoff hopes take a hit as they drop to 7-7. And they'll have a tough one at home next week.
All right, guys. Another good one. I'm going to look at the team stats really quick. Once again, leading in time of possession. Zero turnovers again. 2 for 50. Zero. Wow, I haven't allowed them to get one. 3rd down conversion. They only had 1 first down. I had 27 first downs. All right, so I will close this out now. They only had a field goal, which was pretty good. So I'm going to see my total. I think there are only 2 games left in the season, so I'll be the first team to give up under 100 yards, under 100 points. I really want to do that. I want Palmer to retire. I'm not going to let him go after this season, but I think he would want to retire on top, I guess. Right. All right. Oh my God, 5th already? Wow. Week 16, boys. Yep, 28 points. All right, so I guess Philly's the number 2 seed then, right? Yep, Philly's the number 2 seed. 11-3. Oh my freaking God. Yeah, there's a lot of good teams in the league. I mean, you got Green Bay. I think Green Bay might go 10-6. Jet, Patriot. Yeah, I'm busy tomorrow, so I'm gonna save them for next week. But got 2 games left. I'm gonna view the box score really quick. Yeah, had 6 touchdowns. He had 3 interceptions. Yeah, it was the only field goals every quarter in this game, except for what's that game we got? Well, they had 6 third down conversions, red zone field goal. They had more time of possession, so I think I win more when I have more time of possession. I'm gonna see when I decided to bring along Juju Smith-Schuster. Okay, Juju's first game was game number 2. So basically, those games have had less time of possession, and the less time of possession I've had, basically, I've had 3 turnovers, but I've given up a lot of yards. So I'm going to go back here, and I'm going to see the yards. Thank God for sliders. Basically, from from week 9 all the way to week 14, I've given up a total of 3 points. I don't know why it says I played Dallas twice. It's kind of BS, but whatever. The Texans game was the biggest blowout. That's why I see the box score. Right, Watson had stats. Sorry, I don't mean to yawn. Okay. Field goal against the Rams. Pretty much every single NFC East team except the Giants, I've given up points to. The Cowboys are the ones they've given up a touchdown to. But all their points came in the fourth quarter. But the only touchdown I've given up all season is a rushing touchdown. I've given up 0 passing touchdowns. No one has been able to score in the end zone because of my pass rush. Pass rush. That's the only touchdown I gave up. I don't know why it says played Dallas twice. Mistake. Excuse me, I'm so tired. Ooh, the Eagles beat. The Eagles are declining after that. After the opening loss to Washington. Oh, they beat Seattle. Oh yeah, right, because I made that, so. I want to win in Seattle. I believe. Alright. That's it. Mr. Boos, I will send you a request. Alright. In fact. Alright, I'll see you guys later. Bye. Peace out. For another game later. Alright, bye.